Ugh. I have had probably one of the most draining experiences today, but that's not pertaining to... So I guess as a whole, Season 8 was probably just as bad as I thought it had been so far. Because it seems like that a lot of episodes are hitting... At this point in Season 8, the episodes so far are not that great. I mean, I have reviewed a lot of good episodes, but that's the thing. The episodes are, so far, have been good at best and absolutely fucking terrible at worst. And a lot of the episodes I come across have been formed in the latter category. The rock hard relationship, fake it till you make it, non-compete clause, marks for efforts, the mean six, and a matter of principles have not exactly been the best episodes, and at this point only half of Season 8 so far. But as I said, I haven't given up hope, despite of how really draining these episodes are watching. I always hold out hope that there's going to be an episode that will rebound from all this. And I think I might have found it. So let's get into it. That episode is the Hearth Swarming Club. So this episode begins at, I'm assuming, winter, where basically everyone, every pony, or rather every creature, is getting ready for Hearthwarming Eve.
Sure. I love Hearthwarming Eve. It's all about friends, presents, family, and some presents. It's also about putting aside differences to come together, like the Earth ponies, Pegasus, and Unicorns did on the first holiday.
Kind of makes me wonder if Chancellor Naysay even saw that story, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, is that why you put their fire of friendship on top of the tree to help us remember their unity?
I do also find it impressive that they are able to get the fire of friendship basically glowing like that. So as the young six basically go to their dorms to pack up to go home for the holidays, a shadowy cloaked creature basically drops some type of purple powder to cause the fire of friendship to spout purple goo.
Everything's ruined. That's what's happened. And I don't think it was an accident. Your pony was up here. Over there!
So as they go and chase the shadow cloaked figure, they basically come across the young six in the main dorm, as Twilight basically brings them all to explain what happened.
That is so not cool. And whoever did it ran into your roots. No one came out, and all of you are still here. One of you must have done this. But why would any of you want to sabotage Hearthwarming Eve?
Well, they are kids, and it's just kind of like a mischief makers type of thing.
Yes, not do this. You're not offended by accusation.
Basically, kind of what the CMNC should have told Twilight during March for Efforts. And no, I am not letting that go.
We don't know what happened. Maybe this wasn't even on purpose. But I want to give whoever caused this mess a chance to tell the truth.
Reminder! Another reason why Mark for Efforts assassinated Twilight's character, where she's more understanding here than she was with the CMNC. People still wonder why I still hate Marks for Efforts over the past 2 episodes in the Mean Six and a Matter of Principles. And this episode highlights that, but that's more of a crime against Marks for Efforts than it is at this episode.
And explain themselves. I'll make it easy for you. Close your eyes.
So, why is she getting him to close her eyes?
Now, if you did this, raise your hoof. Or claw. Or whatever.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Yeah, so naturally, nobody really confesses, so Twilight and Rainbow Dash suggest that they're actually going to basically interrogate all of the young six, and if nobody ends up fessing up...
I want to give you each a chance to tell us the truth. And once we find out who did it, you or he
in case anyone isn't noticing, basically Twilight forces the young six to stay behind to clean up the mess and brings each of them in one at a time. And like she said, if nobody confesses, then everyone's going to have to stay behind for what I'm assuming is going to be a type of a mini-mister.
Alright, let's get to the bottom of this.
Alright. So while Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Spike talk to Gallus first, we basically get to hear more of how basically the rest of the young six celebrate Hearthwarming Eve.
Hearthwarming Eve? I do not want to miss going home for it.
Huh. I didn't even know changelings celebrated Hearthwarming.
Oh yes, it's their favorite holiday. Well, since Hegmare Twilight shared it with us last year, she gave our hive very clear instructions.
Yeah, very clear instructions. But it seems that it's obviously since the defeat of Chrysalis, it seems that the changelings have really gotten used to basically taking on holidays, and since I'm assuming we don't really know what their official holiday is, they decide to take up on Hearthwarming Eve as we get to see Ocellus how the changelings interpret Hearthwarming Eve.
Here's a guide to help you enjoy the celebration of pony history. Family starts the holidays by putting the tree up.
And the way that the changelings do this is that they think everything as literal, as they take a tree and really hang it upside down. I gotta admit, with the pulley system, it actually would make things easier to put up the decorations.
Thirsty? Dive into some holiday punch.
Kinda wondering what that type of punch would taste like, or what it even looks like.
Just before bed, every pony exchanges gifts.
Like I said, very literal.
Keep doing this. And to finish celebrating, you can build a fire, light it up, and sing carols.
Still better than Justin Bieber's rendition of Little Drummer Boy and his stupid and Christmas song on Mistletoe. Still better than those. But yeah, it's interesting to note to see how the changelings basically adopted the pony holidays. And speaking of that, basically Ocellus is called next.
What happened? Waiting! Yes, always home for holidays!
How do you celebrate Hearthwarming in Yak-Yakistan, Yona?
Yes!
Yeah, so while Ocellus is basically off trying to tell Twilight and the others what happened, Yona basically is next to explain her rendition of the holidays and what the Yaks celebrate.
Do not! Our holiday much better. It's called Snail Dark Fest. The night before, Yaks gather and smash and put them in big piles. Then, in morning, we smash them. In afternoon, we smash them again. In evening,
So, it's just about smashing stuff, like all your other holidays.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, Snail Dart Fest is just kind of similar to all the other Yak holidays, but...
no, Al Griffin gets that idea. This holiday about so much more. Last year, for example, most perfect snail dart ever.
So then we get to see Yona give a flashback of basically what the Yaks do on Snail Dart Fest and what she did with her family. And we see in this flashback, we see that Yona's hair is a lot more messier than it was in the premiere episode. I really don't know if I should be concerned about the copyright since it's basically just a 5-second loop of them just singing Yak song over and over again. So I don't know if I should be concerned about that or not. So they basically pick a smashing log and smash like the Yaks do, and do the same to a fort, and basically this kind of moss pile, and...
What do you think Yaks are? Barbarians?
It's really nice to know that Yona is aware and that she does give some greater details that the Yaks are beyond just building things and smashing them. As we see in this flashback, we actually get to see Yona get her hair braided because as we saw in the flashback, her hair was a lot more messier. But it seems like in Snail Dart Fest, it seems that when a Yak is old enough, they get the right to kind of get their hair braided. So I think from the way I interpreted it, the Snail Dart Fest is probably, especially with the hair braided, I think I would say it would be kind of a rites of passage type of thing. And we also see, considering how Yona was constantly tripping, how she was basically overstepping on her hair during the premiere, even after it was braided, we definitely see how it looks like when it's up even higher.
So, to recap, your holiday is about smashing things and family.
Two most perfect things ever put together. Happy Silverfest!
As she proceeds to do it. So while she's off... Huh?
Sorry, but...
So while Sambar is off doing that, it's actually Smolder's turn to actually say more of a story, because as Smolder says in the episode, the dragons don't really celebrate Hearthwarming Eve.
Every dragon gets together and tells stories. The best one wins a pile of gemstones. Oh, what story won last year? It was called A Dream Come True. Come on, now you've got to tell it!
Well, now it's the opposite. And for the record, the story that Smolder told is not really her story, but basically what it boils down to is that a dragon was basically sitting in the rain, the original Dragon Lord invites that dragon to a part of the family dinner, and then the pink dragon basically sought total control and basically took over the dragon land and banished the Dragon Lord.
Horrible story. Maybe to you, the dragons like hearing about weak kind creatures getting to feast.
I think this is kind of fitting for the dragons. It's just fair to note. Oh, so while Smolder is off, how Ocellus is God, I can't really speak right now. Basically, Silverstream is the next to get interrogated, and Sambar actually tells really his own personal story of what happens on Hearthwarming Eve. Because I think at this point, this is probably like the third, fourth Christmas episode. We pretty much already know the purpose of Hearthwarming Eve, so we kind of get to see what Sambar tells.
Best holiday story ever. It's called The Day My Hearthwarming Doll Almost Fell into the Fire.
The title needs a little bit of work.
Just before we went to bed, my mom, my dad, and my sister all put our heartwarming dolls up on the mantle, just like we do every year. But this year, I put my doll too close to the edge, and it fell!
And?
My doll hit the floor, but it could have gone in the fire.
Wake! And is anyone wondering why they find Sambar to be the least interesting of the young six? Just saying. So anyway, so Smolder is then basically interrogated next, and basically pretty much almost everybody... So Smolder and Yona get interrogated next, and pretty much are starting to run out of room, as Silverstream then gives their rendition of what the Hippogriffs do for the holidays.
That lasts.
But I can't miss the 3 days of freedom celebration!
How long does that last?
It used to be only 1 day, but now, to commemorate our escape from the Storm King, we're adding 2 more days of awesome! See?
There's a book?
Queen Noble had these made for the Mount Eris Board of Tourism to explain it all to guests.
So I guess maybe Queen Noble is also a bit of a writer. And like I said, I feel really bad for the people that haven't seen the movie. They're going to be really confused about all this. So pretty much Silverstream basically gives the backstory on these 3 days of celebration for the Hippogriffs. And it's actually very interesting to see what they have been doing ever since the Storm King's defeat.
And the first
Or rather, death.
ocean for protecting us from the Storm King. Sea dancing. Whale singing. Shell stringing. Lots of things. Second day will be on Mount Eris. With sky dancing and a wind song at the harmonizing heights to celebrate the Storm King's defeat. Then the third day, every creature will party together on land and sea. Grandparents and parents and sisters, uncles, brothers, acquaintances, neighbors, and cousins. And at the end of the night, Queen Noble is going to give out presents.
So yeah, the 3 days of freedom celebration sounds like a lot of fun. Spending 1 day in Sequestria to basically help them with protection as the Storm King. The second day to basically transform into the Hippogriffs to basically go up on land to celebrate the Storm King's death, if if we're being real here, let's be honest here, if you saw the movie, and then the third day to basically have them both kind of combined and have Queen Nova be their own personal Santa Claus. But as soon as Silverstream guesses this, we see that Gallus is wondering about one thing.
Wait, hold on. Cousins? What are those?
Your aunts and uncles' children? You know, part of your family. Oh, you're teasing us again, right?
Guessing neither one of you confessed.
So because nobody confesses, everybody starts to freak out, and believe it or not, Gallus actually tries to be the voice of reason, and then Sandbar decides to be a dick.
It's the best kelp fritters.
How can you be so cool about this?
We're mad. We just show it differently.
That's kind of what we say with everybody when everybody looks at us and think we're moody.
More like you don't show it at all.
What's Tony getting at? Maybe it wasn't just one prankster. Maybe there were 3 of you. And you're trying to hide your guilt by not being upset. It does make sense.
Guys, stop it.
Or maybe whoever did it is only pretending to be upset to throw us off. Me? But I didn't!
Come on, let it go.
Come on! Ocellus, you know you did it. Just fess up.
Hold on, you little bitch. You think you're in the clear just because of a little gummy? Don't be stupid. I'm not done backing you into a corner yet.
But essentially the fighting is too much for Gallus to take as he finally shouts everyone to stop.
That's not what the holidays are about. No matter what you call them, or how you celebrate. Do you know how lucky you all are? Your stories about sharing and kindness and getting together with every creature that you care about?
But griffins do that too, don't they? Some holiday about a moon?
Blue Moon Festival. The one time of year when griffins are nice to each other. Well, as nice as we can be.
Oh boy. So, yeah. So, up until this episode, we'd never seen Gallus be this emotional. We see him be snarky and be a bit funny at times, but let's be real here. This was the episode that made me declare Gallus as the best of the young 6. So basically now, Gallus basically gives the backstory of the holiday that the Griffins celebrate, which is...
Today about a moon?
Blue Moon Festival.
Yeah, the Blue Moon Festival. As he said, the only time of the year where the Griffins try to be as nice as they can be, even when they're still cruel towards each other.
Families get together to eat and complain about the food and give each other presents they don't like. Mostly just try not to yell at each other.
Well, at least you get to be with your family.
No, because I don't have a family.
Oh. Wow. So basically, Gallus is an orphan.
What about Grandpa Gruff?
That's just his name. He's not any Griff's actual grandpa. You know, like, I never had a place in Griffinstone. And I came here and, well, met all of you.
I'm not crying! Not!
Yeah. So this is definitely a lot to take in because it hurts to see that Gallus has no family to speak of. And because of this, he fesses up and says that he was basically the culprit.
I did it.
Griffin messed up decorations?
Yeah, it was me. Put goo powder in the fire of friendship.
So it wasn't a zealous?
I will fucking stab you, computer phone lady!
Anyways, ignoring Sandbar, Gallus pretty much gives his reason as to why he even did this prank in the first place.
Just figured if I made a mess, our teachers would make us stay to clean up. Be together a little longer.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
Better than I thought. When Headmare Twilight threatened to cancel winter break, that meant I would get to be with all of you for the entire holiday. That's why I didn't confess.
So why are you admitting this now?
I hated seeing all you fighting and blaming each other. That's the opposite of what all your holidays mean. Except maybe yours, Cooler.
So yeah, it really honestly makes Gallus probably the most sympathetic of the Young Six, but this episode shot him up for me to be the best of the Young Six. Because while he can be a bit of a snark a bit, he really has all these emotions, and basically he just wanted to be surrounded by the creatures that he considered family, the only family that he ever had. And it is a lot for him to go back to Griffinstone and just be alone again. But thankfully, Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Spike overhear all this, and basically am proud of Gallus.
We already know. We kinda guessed it was you, but we wanted to give you the chance to tell the truth. I'm proud that you did, and I'm glad to see you've been paying attention in Professor Applejack's honesty classes. But you're still gonna have to make amends, and stay over break for extra friendship lessons. By yourself. I'll stay with him. Me too! You're a stay also!
I'm staying.
What? Alright. I guess pony holidays can't be that bad.
Yeah, so even though Gallus did admit it, the rest of the Young Six do still want to stick behind him because they want to prove that they're all great friends.
With friends who care about you.
Looks like they don't really need any extra lessons. Since you obviously know that hearth warming is about coming together, I'd be honored if all of you would join my friends as guests at our holiday table.
Damn! That's definitely a very good way to...
After we finish cleaning up.
But it seems like it doesn't matter as the Young Six do continue to enjoy their company and continue basically being together.
Does it have a depressing ending? I'm not sure pony stories work that way. Gallus wants Jonah Breakfeather.
Pass.
Hearthwarming, even here with the guys!
And that was the Hearthwarming Club, and... I'm just gonna say it. This was the best episode of the season. I mean, there really was just a lot of feel-good moments about this episode. It was very nice to go in-depth of what each of the other races celebrate the holidays, aside from the ones that we've already known. But I think really just also this intrigue and mystery is just seeing the characters more three-dimensional. But easily, Gallus was the highlight of this episode for me, and this was the episode that made me declare him to be not my favorite of the Young Six, and quite possibly one of my favorite characters of the entire show. To see him start to see how much friendship has rubbed off on him, just to see that he really is an orphan in Griffinstone, and that he doesn't really have a family to go back to, and that the rest of the Young Six is the closest he has to a family. And it really goes to show how far he's come since the premiere episode of Season 8. Now, I understand they did need to incite the drama of the third act near the end for Gallus to confess. I guess really the only thing that kind of bugged me was really Sandbar, really, because he was honestly a little bit of a dick and also kind of a bit uninteresting, but nothing to really overturn the episode. And like I said, compared to the last 3 episodes that I had to review, the 3 episodes that could easily be debated as the 3 worst episodes of the season, and potentially some of the absolute worst of the whole show, this episode's basically just a godsend. It's basically a simple but effective and enjoyable feel-good holiday episode that expands the world and gives more character development to the Young Six, which I definitely do appreciate. And what I appreciate more about this episode is that is that it does not make the older characters look like assholes. Alright, so final ranking. So, this episode I think I can say without a doubt is an A+. I would give it an S tier, but the whole thing with the sandbar stuff, especially with him accusing Ocellus, even after Alice basically admitted it, kind of kills the mood, but it's mostly a nitpick. Like I said, this episode is an A+. This is probably the best that Season 8 has to offer, and if this is the best that Season 8 can be able to give us, along with a couple of other episodes, maybe not all hope is lost. Alright, so yeah, so the Heartwarming Club is an A. Alright, so hopefully we are now back on track. Alright, so next time we are going to be looking at Friendship University. Okay, I'll probably have to come up with something, but next time is Friendship University. See you guys next time. Bye.